tanker trouble. One morning, Luke and Neville were at the docks. They were talking about tankers. "Whatever you do," said Luke, "be careful with them." "I will," said Neville, and Neville puffed away. He buffered up to the tankers, and he was on his way to the quarry. "Why are we taking the tar tanker and fuel tanker to the quarry?" said Neville to his driver. "It's to make sure," said his driver. If the diesels have broken down, we have to take them there. "I understand," said Neville. "Good," said his driver, and with that Neville was off. He was on his way to the quarry when he stopped. He stopped for a moment. He was listening to a dripping noise. "What was that noise?" he said. "I don't know what it is," said his driver. His driver got out of Neville's cab and went to inspect. The fuel tanker was dripping. "This isn't good," said his driver. "Anyway, I hope we'll make it. I hope we don't mind if we make it while the tanker is still dripping itself." "Sure," said Neville. They were about to leave when suddenly Peter Sam puffed in with some quarry trucks. "Help!" he said. Peter Sam was in trouble. He couldn't stop. He crashed into the tankers. Oil and tar laid everywhere, all over Peter Sam. He was dirty. And Neville was shocked to see what was going on. "Sorry, Neville," said Peter Sam. "It's all right," said Neville. I shall phone for help," said Neville's driver. Later, Peter Sam and his trucks were back on the rails. The tankers were filled up again. They were fixed up well, and they never creaked and dripped again. With that, Neville was on his way to the quarry and continued on. Peter Sam had to go to the washdown to be washed up again. His driver didn't like that. With that, Peter Sam puffed away too. Neville hurried along. He was almost there at the quarry. He arrived at last, and there was Paxton and Bert waiting. The tar tanker and fuel tanker were at the quarry, and Neville was glad. Just then, the Fat Controller arrived. "You are a really useful engine, Neville," he said. "Well done." "Thank you, sir," said Neville, and with that, Neville smiled with joy. Even Paxton, even Bert as well. "You've done a good job," said Bert. "Thanks a lot, everyone," said Neville, and with that, he began to agree with himself. Neville became a really useful engine. "Well done," said the Fat Controller. Neville smiled happily.